Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here in the finals of our little, I think there was 9 players in this FNM, so quite a small FNM. This is our second one, our later FNM at our local store, and this is in the final. So I'm 2-0, my opponent is 2-0. I won the die roll and lead off with the tap land, and it looks like he's got a Lagona. No, that looks like a favored hoplite. So I know what deck he's on. It's going to be a white heroic deck, and I know this is a terrible matchup because when I used to play white heroic, these are the decks that I wanted to see, were the aggro decks that didn't go over top, that just play the early aggro route, because I know that the favorite hoplite, you can just protect and kill everything they swing at you, and then eventually the favorite hoplite gets bigger and bigger, and then you can eat your opponent alive. So anyway, it looks like it's a Brahmaz's hand, which is going to be a hard thing for this deck to deal with. He just decides he's going to God's Willing right now to put a counter on him. I don't know if I quite agree with that play, but maybe he's looking for something else on top, trying to set his hand up and then getting in there for some damage. And it looks like he has an Ajani's Presence and a God's Willing, so he's thinking he's got plenty of answers to protect his favorite hoplite. So again, this is the draw you want to see with the mono white heroic, is just a 1-drop with a ton of ways to protect it. And so I'm down to an 18. It looks like I have a Pulitz Crusher, and there's our Fanatic of Xenagos, so that's off to a pretty good start. So he's deciding what he wants it to be, if he wants to have haste for the end turn or a permanent 1/1 counter. I think at this point he doesn't want to, or he probably does want to race, because he knows he can, if what he kept up on top of his library is like another creature, then he can attack in with one of them and then leave one back to block. So he decides just to give it haste. I do swing in there, get him down to a 16. Looks like he's got a Center Soul, so that's a new card from the Dragons of Tarkir, which gives protection from a color and rebound. So there is a ton of ways to protect your cards in Standard. You can pick your favorite one. His hand apparently has all 3 of them. He's got a Feat of Resistance, a Center Soul, and another God's Willing in his hand. So terrible outcome for what I'm trying to do with the Fanatic of Xenagos. I know that I go ahead and hook up a Mogus Warhound, because I know it's going to be bigger than anything that he can do to his creature. Like if he goes Feat of Resistance, my guy's still going to be bigger, and it appears that's probably what he's going to end up doing, is either Johnny's Presence or Feat of Resistance. Oh, and Center Soul actually works pretty good right here too, because then it can rebound and go back on it and give it another counter. And basically, it's the exact Feat of Resistance or Center Soul is basically the exact same thing here. It's going to give 2 counters and protect his dude. So anyway, he goes up to a 2, and then blocks the, or up to a 3/4, and then blocks the Fanatic of Xenagos. Still takes a trample damage as 1 damage. My dude's a 5/5, and then so 1 still goes through even though it has protection. So he targets it again. It is now up to a 3/4 or 4/5. So up to Goyf power, early Goyf. And now it's actually going to be able to kill my guy on the swing, and I have to attack in. So I know it's going to come again, but I want to bait out something else. Like here it's going to get another. I'm hoping that if I get enough of these out of his hand, I can just flat out kill his guy. But his guy's now going to be up to a 5/6. He's going to be able to scry and set up his hand. He's going to be able to, oh, but I'm able to Boon Satyr there. That was actually a really good play. And so this is going to, I'm still feeling pretty good, because it's +4/+2 on top of the 5/5. So 9, it's a 9/7. And his other dude is a 4/5, is a 5/6. But he Feat of Resistance to put it up to, I guess just to save the trample damage. So it's a 7. Oh, it is a 7. So he still ends up taking some damage, but it does kill my guy, and my 2 bestow cards fall off. So that wasn't the best thing to happen here. But I mean, I'm checking his grave room. Okay, he's used so much protection. Let's hope that he doesn't have any more in his hand. I'm getting a little bit frustrated because he just has 3 lands on the battlefield to... You know, now every land that I draw is completely useless after the 5 lands. And because I can bestow, I've already used the Boon Satyr, so that was the top of my curve. Mistcutter Hydra is kind of weak I mean, it become a 5/5 if I get one more land, but a 4/4 is fine at this point. And I think I'll just chump here. I don't want to race, as I know that if he's attacking, and that means he's just going to cast something else. So my Warhound dies, and he puts out another Hoplite. And I didn't want to attack into the Boon Satyr because I know all he has to do is just cast any old spell, and it gives it the prevent all damage, and then Boon Satyr dies. So now we find another land, which is very frustrating. But I hook up another Warhound on the Boon Satyr, but it makes it so I have to attack, which I will. And here he can just block, though, and lose his guy. That's fine. Or he can Johnny's Presence if he wants to Johnny's Presence to put a counter on that one. I think at this point that's an okay move as well. I'm down to an 18. He's got a 7/8 favorite Hoplite. And in fact, the launch the fleets, he can use both of them and then put 2 counters into play and do, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 damage on the backswing with the launch the fleets. Actually, 14 damage with the Johnny's Presence. So, yeah, this is not looking good whatsoever for me. And he decides to Johnny's Presence. He probably should have declared blockers first, as if I would have had something... Oh, he Stubborn Annihilate. That's pretty good. So, still gets the counter, though, on the favorite Hoplite. And that was actually a bad Stubborn Denial. I think I just... Because it still prevents the damage. So, that was completely wasted. Maybe I should read the Hoplite again over and know that does not... I wonder if we miss it here, and he does. Yeah, that shouldn't have died. Because Hoplite does say it prevents the damage. So, we both missed that... interaction with the Hoplite, but it's not going to matter. He top decks into another God's Willing. At this point, I can't afford to even try to race. He just passes the turn, which, I have to attack on the Boon Satyr. He's in no hurry. Again, there's not much in my deck. Like, I guess a Crater's Claw, a huge Crater's Claw is what I would need to hit. And, yep, so I know that he has to attack, and we get the Warhound back, so that's not a good trade for me. And I believe I have... What is it that I have in my hand? I think it's just a Polis Crusher that I'm debating whether to put out. Yep, there's a Polis Crusher. And it looks like an Arc Lightning. So here, though, if I Arc Lightning his face, puts him down to 11, I'm still way out of range from really top decking that Crater's Claw for I mean, Crater's Claw at this point, even if I don't have Ferocious, is... Okay, so I'm going on the damage. The damage is prevented, though. We're really messing this up. I forget this about Favorite Hoplite, and it appears he forgets about Favorite Hoplite too, that Favorite Hoplite actually took no damage from the Boon Satyr. And so it wouldn't even mattered if the damage on the Arc Lightning to try to kill off the Favorite Hoplite. So Bramaz comes out here, and he swings in for man, it's huge now. That's 7, 8, 8. And then now I'm fighting a losing battle, especially with Bramaz here with the Polish Crusher. I know I can monstrous the Polish Crusher. I believe he only monstrous by 1. Is that all Polish Crusher does? And then Polish Crusher also destroys enchantments when it's monstrous, so that is completely useless versus his deck. Does it have Trample? I can't even remember if it has Trample. Pro enchantments, yeah, not a very good card against him. Down to an 8. And he's going to launch the fleet there and there, which adds a counter. And he's swinging with both of them, which adds 2 more guys. And I believe he misses 2 triggers here with his guys. And only He should have 2 soldiers here. Only puts in a Brahma soldier, so he forgets about his launch the fleet. And my Crusher does die because of the +1/+1 from the Johnny's presence, and I know it's just a losing battle at that point. So yeah, very, very rough. He did not draw land after that 3rd source, and there's his 4th land. So we'll go on to the game number 2. All right, so this one I'm going to be on the play, which hopefully I can get. Like, my only hope is just to get a crazy, crazy Elvish Mystic drop, and it looks like I have 0. No, I do have some lands there, so I'm going to start off with the Evolving Wilds and crack it and go get the source that I'm missing. I believe I do go get just an island. I think just the one of island. Yeah, one of island in the deck, because it did seem like I did have the other source, the red source and the green source in my hand. So he plays a Laguna Band Trailblazer, which basically is just ugh, ugh, ugh. That's really, really hard because I can't like just wild slash it. But I do have I think I do have a Rending Volley. So I do Rending Volley and just kill it. Just flat out kill it right off the bat. So it actually takes care of a Laguna Band Trailblazer. So the card that I was kind of insulting, why is this card in the deck? The Rending Volley, I didn't think it had a place. Actually, against his deck, it kills Brimaz and the Laguna Band Trailblazer, so not a bad card here. It looks like he's got a Fabled Hero, Launch the Fleets at God's Willing, and a Feat of Resistance. So I'll go Fanatic of Xenagos, and then most likely we'll be able to swing in for 4 here. He probably doesn't want to put a permanent counter on it. He might, though. He might just decide to say, hey, I'll be able to put out a threat next turn. They can deal with it. But I think that, yeah, I'm thinking that he just does want to hit for 4. And then it goes to 16. And he draws another God's Willing. So he's going to put out a Plains. And I think he's going to throw out the Fabled Hero. Like, when I play the white heroic deck, though, it's one of those times I never throw out anything unless I can protect it. I always wait for that other mana. I don't think he's in any hurry to establish a threat against me. And he does decide to. So he smartly decides not to play it. I don't know if I could actually kill it in my hand or not. It looks like I do have the Act of Treason. So I'm just attacking for 3 here and put him down to 13. And there's one of my better cards in the matchup, the Heir of the Wilds. That can actually take care of his... Yeah, and so, there we go. So I tried to Rending Volley him, and he God's Willing him. So that was stupid of me, because I probably should have just tried to Act of Treason him and force him to God's Willing, and then in response, Rending Volley and actually killed his favorite hero here. But I'm thinking I'm going to Act of Treason. I'm going to get in there for a bunch of damage, and this is really going to put him on the ropes. This is going to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that puts him, I can't quite see his life total, but he's down... He did gain some life on the rate. Yeah, he's down to a 4 off of it. So, but now he's got a 3/3 double striker, and he can pump it up quite a bit. Looks like Feat of Resistance can get him up to a 4/4, and then Launch Speed can get him up to a 5/5, and then Center of Soul can get him up to a 6/6 and a 7/7. He can actually tack in here for 14 damage, which is pretty huge. And I'm kind of stuck here. I can't really do much. I know his hand is full of cards that can protect his hero. So not being able to... That's the best feeling in the world when you're playing Mono White Heroic, is when you know you can actually keep your hero protected. Not only that, but his protection from, even if he gives it red, makes him so that I can't cast a red spell against him, and actually gives his protection from green will give him unblockable. So he's deciding if he can actually pump up enough. So he's definitely can't pump up enough on this turn, because that's 3 for 5, 6, 7, 8 is all I see, and then 9 with the swinging in, Launch the Fleet token. Well, 8, 16, 17 damage is all I can see. But I can't remember if he makes a mistake here and thinks he can do it. I think he's actually even still one card away. Yeah, so he passed the turn. He does see that he can't do it, and then I think I decide just to pass turn. I know I'm at his mercy. I think I'm getting, too many lands. I don't want to see more than 4. It doesn't look like I have a land, but it looks like that. Is that a Golden Hind that's in my hand? Can't quite see. But if I play a Golden Hind, I hate that card. Like, I could decide to swing in and just get 2 damage in and then try to get another 2 damage in, because I think he is at 4, but he's going to go ahead and end a turn Center Soul, which just gives him a counter. And then next turn it's going to be able to rebound. And then, yep, there's the rebound. Puts on another counter. Gives it protection from green, so now it's unblockable. It's up to a 5/5. It does look like he just has a Laguna Band Trailblazer, though, in his hand. So he needed another spell. So he can actually cast a Feud of Resistance to get up to a 7/7, a Launch the Fleet to get up to an 8/8, and a God's Will to get up to a 9/9. And I think he miscalculates here. I think he thinks it's up to 20 damage. And so he goes for it and then regrets his decision here. Yeah, so there's a 9/9. Oh wait, it's an 8/8. So he actually did have the kill here. Does he just forget that? Or did he try to put too many counters there? I think we recheck how many. So you have the Center Soul, that puts the 2nd counter on him. The Feud of Resistance puts the 3rd and 4th. The God's Willing only puts a 5th. Or does the center put 2 and 3? Yes, it does. So he actually is up to a... It's up to an 8/8 right now. And he can get it up to a 9/9, actually. And 9/9 is 18 damage, not 20. Yeah, that's right. So it's up to a 6. And then the Launch the Fleet token cannot go through. So he's looking at his mistake here. And goes for Laguna. Trailblazer, he's out of white mana. I noticed he's out of white mana. We're doing a count here to see exactly how many he has, and that is up just to an 8/8. So, yep. 1, 2, there's 3 counters, 4, 5, 6 from 2 from Center Soul and 1 from the other God's Willing in the graveyard. So the other card in that graveyard is Laguna Band Trailblazer. Again, I apologize for the glare. We're gonna get better at actually getting the lights not too... Like, we need like an umbrella and still have light to actually the video camera to tape. I'm getting used to the whole, what do you want to call it, cinematography or whatever, so it doesn't glare on the cards. So anyway, I think that I do have him here. I can't see his life total. I think he is down to a 4, but we just go for the Act of Treason, and he doesn't have a... Yep, he doesn't have a way to stop it. He can block the Fabled Hero, but then take 6 from the other guys. So we do win that one. We'll go on to game number 3. And again, I don't think that we would have won that if you would have miscalculated. So here in game number 3. I am on the draw, though, here. And see that I do have a red and a green source. And my opponent does have... He's got 3 lands in hand. He doesn't have a creature yet. But he decides to keep it here. So looking at his hand, doesn't appear... It looks like he has a lot of ways to protect a creature, but no creature. And there he top decks it. So now I'm actually looking back at this game. I'm a little bit... Oh, man. So he does find the Laguna, and it actually looks like he plays this smart and protects the Laguna. But I know now that looking at the video that he top decked it. So this game would have went a lot differently if he wouldn't have found that 2nd turn creature. But he gets another creature here. This one's a little harder to protect. I think at this point you just want to protect the Laguna Band Trailblazer. And I have all of my sources through the frontier bivouac and the mountain. And he's debating whether he puts out the hero here. That's definitely the wrong play. You can't protect. You need to play mono white with keeping up protection, especially since you've seen rending volleys and roasts and things like that. I could actually have double volley here and kill both of his guys, and then that'd pretty much set the game in my favor. And there it is, the roast on the hero, where he could have just end of turn center sold on the trailblazer. So he gets the other. So he's got 3 creatures in a row, and yeah. So I draw another land. Looks like I'm getting very flooded. We have the Fanatic of Xenagos, which he can choose to give it haste or a counter. And he decides to give it haste, which means he can easily protect his Lagona and save the damage there. So he's going to God's Willing and Scry, keep it on top so he likes it. And he's deciding whether he wants to do anything else to it. And the Giant's Presence will actually kill it. So yeah, so it pumps it up to a 2. And then that's 4 damage to the Xenagos. And he takes no damage. It is now a 4/5. And yeah, now he's got a Seeker of Away. So drawing very well. I take 3 here. And looks like I draw another land. So definitely frustrated at this point. And now I know I'm just so far behind. He's got a 4/5 or a 3/4 favorite hoplite. He's got a 0/4 that can just stay back on defense. The air is pretty good because it forces him to use actual protection from the Death Touch. But it's just 1 card. And it looks like he has double Center Soul and a Seeker of the Way. And Seeker's going to be a pain. He's going to attack in, and I will force the card out of his hand. I still think that's a better play. And he could just decide to let it go, but the right play for sure is this to Center Soul. I'll be able to rebound it next turn on his upkeep, actually, which will make it basically unblockable again, or he can actually decide to make the Seeker of the Way unblockable. So we draw another land. That is not what I want to see. I know I have 1 more land left in the deck, or in my hand, and I just pass the turn because I have no play. He goes ahead and rebounds the Center Soul back on his favorite hoplite. And then he is going to, looks like a Launch the Fleets. Wow, he could actually target them all with Launch the Fleets. And decides not to do it, though. But the Seeker is up to a 3. The, Seeker's 3 and then 5, so I take 8 damage there. Not looking good. He's up to a 23. And it looks like I drew another land there. So we'll be able to tap, and I drew a Warhound, which is just as bad as a land because it has to attack each turn. It's just going to be used as a chump blocker. He's debating whether to use just another Center Soul on the favorite hoplite to bring it up to a 5, up to a 6. So there's the Center Soul. Nothing I can do there. Puts a counter on it. It's going to rebound. He's going to be able to Center Soul it again. Which, yep, that's still the right play. Gives it unblockable, protection from red. It's up to a 7. It's basically, I just know I'm dead to like a Johnny's Presence or a Feat of Resistance. And in this case, it's going to be a Launch the Fleets, which you can actually launch on all of them. And then just proceed to get in with the unblockable damage, up to 8 damage from unblockable. And then the Seeker Away will actually be a 4, so I could block the Seeker and then take the 3 from the soldier tokens that come out from the Launch the Fleet, and then an additional 1 damage from the Centaur, the Lagona Band Trailblazer. So he's going to do that, and he is worried about like the 1 card in my hand. I don't think at this point you need to be worried about anything, because with 4 mana open, yeah, I could Stubborn Denial. That's true, but he can actually just pay the 1. And, yep, he will launch. and that is game. So we lose in the finals to a mono white heroic deck, which I do think is a bad matchup for the deck. We drew way too many lands in that last one, and it's just not like our only hope is to get those early rending volleys and roasts against the heroic deck. And I think that even the blue-white heroic deck's even a worse matchup, but I'd like to see this against another aggro deck to see how it performs. All in all, I thought it was a pretty solid deck. We were proved that it can compete in FNM. Yes, those weren't the best matchups. Robert's a great player, the second match player. He goes to a lot of the Grand Prix. He's one of our better players at our shop. And then the opponent here is also a very good player as well. The black-blue control player was brand new, but I mean, it's black-blue control. He's on the verge of probably trying to be a spike type player if he starts with his first deck being black blue control. His friend helped him made him. So anyway, we at least go 2-1 versus what I would say would be for this shop would be a pretty decent skill level of the players. So anyway, we'll go on to the wrap up video. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.